Ah, somebody said you guys couldn't hear me very good last one. I am really sorry about that. It is really windy here in Oklahoma, and it is 103 degrees today. And I turned off the fan and the air purifier and my external hard drive. So, and I will try to speak up. I am really, really tired. I slept like 12 hours last night. I literally went to bed at 8 o'clock and got up about 8 o'clock. It was, and I am still so sleepy. Do not ask me why. I think it's allergies and whatnots. But I'm here, believe it or not. Cryptids, cults, and kangaroos. I woke up the other morning this is probably part of the reason I'm so tired. I woke up around 5 o'clock in the morning thinking of the title for this video. And then whenever I was doing the research for it, I got sidetracked on the video I ended up publishing earlier this week on the Russian megaliths. Anyway, oh my goodness. Yes. Let's see. I want to start with the cult thing because I don't want to dwell on that. There is some confusion sometimes about what a cult actually is. And, if we look it up in the dictionary, it talks about strange and sinister religious beliefs and stuff like that. Misplaced or excessive admiration of a particular person or thing. But I think this dictionary definition is kind of missing the mark. What a cult actually is, it is something that whenever you are a part of it, if you leave the cult, it's exclusive, okay? And a cult, like a Christian cult, is something that they're telling you their way is the only way to heaven. And if you don't believe their way, you're not going to heaven. You're not a real Christian, okay? So if they're telling you that, that's probably a cult. And then another way to tell what a cult is if you decide you want to leave the cult, then you will be ostracized and shunned from it, okay? So somebody who is born into a cult and decides to leave, there are some cults that we have today that if you leave and go into a life of sin, they will still accept you. You can still come back for Christmas and stuff, okay? Or holidays or whatever they do. You can still come back for family get-togethers and things like that. But there are some that, but I mean, you can come back if you're you're into the world and you have backslidden and you're living a life of sin. But if you have actually got saved and now have a relationship with the Lord, or are going to a different denominational church or whatever, then they will not accept you back. They don't want you back for family get-togethers or holidays or whatever. Okay? So those are the two big things to be able to tell the difference between a cult and not. Those two things. They believe they are the only way. And Jesus said he is the only way. He didn't say the Baptists were the only way, the Mormons were the only way, the Jehovah's Witnesses were the only way, the whatevers were the only way. He didn't say that. He said, I am the only way. Him. Okay, so Yeshua is the only way. And it's kind of like my name. You can call me Donita, Donetta, Donwita if you want to, or just Dawn. It doesn't matter what you call me as long as you call me for dinner. And, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahuwah, I don't think he cares necessarily how you're pronouncing his name as long as you're calling on his name. Okay. And as long as you're believing on him and he is the way that you are getting to heaven. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if anybody that is in here has been having some confusion in that area or not, but hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Okay, now I want to screen share. Now that we've gotten on that, beyond that, screen share entire screen. Yep, that one. Sure. Ta-da. That's not where we're starting. I had it somewhere else. Okay. JT follows JC. He's kind of fun. And I found him after I found Paul from Understanding Conspiracy. And he had a couple of guys on his channel, and I've seen these two guys before. I'm not super familiar with them, but I actually did watch these Kangaroos or Cryptids change my mind, and it was kind of a fun one. He has he has some really interesting stuff. A lot of you are probably already watched or following him. He got a lot of subscribers. He has Paul from Understanding Conspiracy on there every so often, and I can't remember if I watched that one. His thumbnails are funny. I definitely haven't watched all. Oh, I didn't know he had the trumpet guy on. I need to watch that. I like the trumpet guy. We follow him on TikTok, and he's got a lot of neat information. So anyway, if you're not following him yet and you didn't know about him, check him out. And I'm just going to have a little fun with his kangaroo thing, try to prove him wrong. And I don't know if I'm going to get him proved wrong or not, but we're going to check it out. Okay, first of all, we're of course going to go to Wikipedia. And do not eat a kangaroo. Kangaroo meat would be unclean. They do not. I don't know if they chew the cud, but they don't have cloven hooves, so not a good idea. Anyway, one of his thought processes was there's not any other creatures like this in the world. Well, I don't know. There are. We've got these scientific classifications, which I'm sure isn't the same as the kinds that God did. And I probably should have looked up how they classify the platypus. Because if you're going to talk about poor Mr. Kangaroo here, which Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies called the giant jackrabbit, if you're going to make fun of the giant jackrabbit, then what are you doing about the platypus? Because if you're going to believe that something's cryptic, it would be the platypus to me, not the poor giant jackrabbit. So, anyway, marsupials. There are marsupials is one of the classifications that you have for, and it's about yay up, right? So you got the family. This is the emperor class marsupial. And we do have marsupials over here in the Americas and then in Australia and neighboring islands. Okay. And one of those would be Mr. Possum. They've got, let's see, koalas. Yep. possums, Tasmanian devils, wombats, wallabies, which, what's the difference between a wallaby and a kangaroo? I don't know. Ain't they cute though? And bandicoots. We also have, and I don't know how we have like a kangaroo rat here. I don't know what's that. Yeah, there's a kangaroo rat. And there's another one too. Genus Dibodones. Not quite the same. It's a different thing. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the possum. We have these in America. We have these out here. And possums are interesting creatures. So, the word possum is derived from the Powhatan language that was oh, goodness. Isn't that uh, yeah, the Algonquins. Because wasn't Pocahontas was Algonquin, wasn't she? I don't know. Yep, John Smith. Jamestown. Interesting. They are considered to be living fossils. Oh my goodness. How does that work? Characteristics. Omnivore. Long snouts. Are kangaroos omnivores? I'm assuming they are. Specialized teeth. Yep. Grass. They eat grass. Anyway. Comparisons to all of these. The difference in the way the muscles and stuff are. They have single chambered stomachs. They do chew a cud. They regurgitate what they've eaten, so it's similar to a rabbit. Then rabbits run their food through their digestive system twice, and it's considered a way of chewing the cud. But it's different than the clean animals, of course. And yeah, whenever they stand up and they stand on two legs and they fight and they have these like hand like, So, I mean, I see where the guys are kind of getting it. But they just kind of look like, actually, you know what this reminds me of? With the way their tails are and stuff, it reminds me of Triceratops. What if, and I keep telling my children this, what if Triceratops, because they do have smaller arms, not as small as they usually put on Triceratops, but I think they probably are goofing that up. Unless those were actually wings instead of arms. And that was just part of it, could have been. But what if Triceratops was actually a giant kangaroo? That's my thought. That's my thought. And I mean, some people think Triceratops was a Nephilim type creature as well. It was cryptid. But there are other creatures that are similar to this. If you look at rabbits, if you look at the possum, these are creepy looking little critters. They really are. And they do have like the hands and stuff too. The fingers, okay? With the claws. I mean, if that was giant, as big as your house, wouldn't that just be frightening? And that's just a baby. I mean, look at those black eyes. So, anyway, I am of the opinion, for those of you who are new here, welcome. I am of the opinion that our world is trying to go back to the original design. Our bodies, our world, everything itself. But unfortunately, we've got a consistent poisoning going on, right? Our food, our water, our air, everything's being poisoned in one way, shape, or form. And it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm drinking my kombucha right now, trying to behave myself. But a little bit ago, I did have some ice cream, and it was not homemade. And I did not look at the ingredients, and I put chocolate syrup on, and you don't even want to know what's in that chocolate syrup. I can make my own chocolate syrup, which is always better, but I have a lazy bone, especially whenever it's 103 degrees, and I don't get her done. Okay. So it is hard for me to believe. Some people want to say that genetic mutations stick with you forever or pass down through generations and stuff. And I think that could be the case to a point. But if you have a generational curse in your family that has caused a genetic malfunction of some sort, you can overcome that. You can overcome that. Your body is built to heal and to regenerate. So if you get the right nutrients, if you treat it properly, if you get the right frequencies going on inside and outside of your body, like the Bible says, think on things that are pure and of good report and stuff. There is a reason for that. It says bitterness is rottenness to the bones, right? That is it's huge. It's huge. So, yeah, these are creatures that I do believe that God created, and because they've been here, and I think they've been on this earth for a long time. Why there's so many strange creatures in Australia, I am not quite sure. But at the same time, we do have a lot of unique and strange creatures over here as well. We just have to happen to be connected still. So yeah, I don't think people realize they're finding new species of animals on a regular basis. And they're, I mean, I shouldn't go into the lizard thing, should I? No, I shouldn't. I'm going to get sidetracked. I mean, there are so many different kinds. Now, all of that to say, me rambling along. Let's see if there's any. No, I don't think anybody. Oh, hello, 50 plus. Yes, I mean the T-Rex. Yes, don't you think the T-Rex looks like a giant kangaroo? I mean, seriously, I think he does. I think he looks like a giant kangaroo. I mean, you take that head of that T-Rex, because it's not going to show the ears. Those are just cartilage, right? And those legs and that tail, and does he not look like a T-Rex? If you just took his skeletal system, let's look. Kangaroo skeleton. I don't know, guys. An image. Tab. And then let's oops, that was not what. I mean, that kind of. Pick up an image in another tab. Here we go. Oh, that's small. So if he was standing up a little bit taller, what do you think? I mean, they put smaller arms on him, but yeah, I think that's because they're not as smart as they think they should be. Either that, I mean, he could be a lizard of some sort with, and he could have wings, and maybe that was only he had fingers on the middle part of his wings instead of all the way at the end. I mean, that could be too, right? But I mean, does that not look like a T-Rex to you? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I mean, that's what I think. And I know most of these are just, yeah, I get it. But anyway, yeah, they're, yeah, does that not, mm, maybe not. I don't know. That's my thought process. And I'm sticking to it. So JT follows JC might think it's scripted, but I think it's a T-Rex. Anyway, there are cryptid kangaroos. So he's not completely wrong. There are cryptid kangaroos. It's called the phantom kangaroos. And I found this a good majority of people know what out of place animals are. For those who don't, these animals are discovered in a location where they're not supposed to be. So, yeah. Is it one that's just gotten away or they've ended up in different places? I don't know. So, phantom kangaroos have been seen within the United States. It does not say whether or not the sightings were the people who sighted them were intoxicated or not, but there is always that possibility. Richmond, Wisconsin, 1899. New Jersey, 1900. Look here, Shelley. Pennsylvania, 1907. Newspapers in the area reported a kangaroo being spotted. Was it an escapee from a circus or something? That is hard to say. But maybe it was an American T-Rex that hadn't actually gone extinct yet, too. Tennessee, Ohio, I have a fly getting me. Minnesota, Illinois, Midwest. Are you serious? Chicago. Okay. Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, Wisconsin, Oklahoma. Here we go. A pair of hunters recorded a video. That was 2013 of a kangaroo hopping through a field. Now, I will say, we have emus and stuff like that out here in Oklahoma because we have some really smart, intelligent oil people who have more money than they know what to do with. And they like getting a hold of stuff like this and letting it go on their ranches. Because my grandfather had an emu that would visit him. He got to where he was just taking grain with him, and he would feed it whenever he was out pumping wells. So, yeah, it would not surprise me at all to see a kangaroo in Oklahoma. It really would not. And I would not consider that a cryptid sighting, personally. I would not. I would have just assumed one of the rich oil men out here had got a bee in his bonnet and decided to bring one in and let it go, or it got away from me. Okay. New York, Wisconsin, yeah. And I mean, in these, sometimes they're nearby zoos. I mean, you would expect that, right? So anyway, that was kind of fun right there. I'll keep that and I'll put the link in the description. So yeah, and even Wikipedia has the phantom kangaroo and the reports of these in different places. This is even UK, France, Japan. Yeah. So It's not to say that there couldn't be one that could be cryptid, but I don't think on a regular basis. Now that Goosearoo, that's a mutant Etsy something. That's weird. Um, Somebody else has decided to put, yeah, I don't know. Again, it kind of looks like a dinosaur of some sort. Because we don't know that all of the quote unquote dinosaurs were actually reptilian or amphibian. Some of them were obviously more like elephants, and some of them could definitely have been mammals. I don't know that you can legitimately tell what they were according to their bones. And I know some they found like skin sample, like skin imprints. And I mean, here we go. Dragon, anybody? So maybe Nessie is a kangaroo. No, I don't think so. Oh my goodness. But, at one point in time, all of the animals had access to the whole world. Before the flood, we did not have these huge, huge oceans. There were 4 big rivers, and there's a white one. That's cool. Of course, at this point, we don't know how many of these are AI. That's looks like it's an actual photo. And sometimes artists get creepy about things too. So anyway, you just don't ever know what you're going to find whenever you go looking at things. All right, so now I'm going to get into the cryptid stuff. I should see if there's any more. Oh, I do have some. What about crossowary? Crossowary. Ostrich, giant birds. Yeah, the ostrich, the giant birds. Yeah, rhino, hippo. Yeah, they're odd creatures. That's right. Cassowary. Cassowary. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, let me look that up. Oh, wow. Huh. I had no idea. I learned something. I love you guys. I just learned so much from you guys. So it's like an ostrich? What'd you do? Wow. There are some really strange things. It's smaller than an ostrich or an emu. They sure look like it though. Wow. That is an interesting creature. Look at that comb. That makes our turkeys look really, the colors are gorgeous. That is really pretty. That almost reminds you of the colors on a peacock. We used to have peacocks. We have not replaced them. Most of them went on to glory of natural causes. We'd had them for quite a while. Some of them, the local barn owls got. A bird eating a bird, and I mean they were brazen about it. They would catch them roosting on the fence and just yeah. Those are interesting creatures. Oh my goodness. Oh, how funny. On a Indonesia coat of arms. Oh, how funny. Those are odd looking creatures. Definitely odd looking creatures. Wow. Okay. So, I kind of created my own little bestiary based on these are images that I've pulled off of Pinterest. Pinterest now, it's either showing me quilting stuff or really weird animals and creatures. It's like, oh, she wants to see stuff like this. I don't know why these dragony type creatures seem like they've always got a cloth hanging out of their mouth. Is it because she's actually inside of him and he ate her and maybe she's ascending up into heaven or something and he's still digesting? I don't know. This one, I don't even know how its mama gave birth to it. I don't even know what they're doing with this one. It's got 4 ears, 4 legs. This looks like one of those, it should have been twins, but it didn't separate all the way type thing. This is interesting. And I try to pick the ones that look like they came out of a book, But, I mean, it looks like almost hair or feathers here, but it could be fins or something. I mean, like I said, some reptiles, lizards, you blow them up and they look very dragon-like. Now, this right here, okay, it's got like bird, like webbed feet like ducks, but the bird body doesn't really look like a duck body. And then it's got this weird stuff going on. Oh my goodness. Basically a siren or a type of siren. And the sirens, that's what happened. That was the punishment for the women who mated with the watchers that came down. So 200 watchers came down. They took wives. Even if each one of them only took one wife, that makes at least 200 sirens. They got turned into sirens. So Starbucks logo, that's a siren. If you go to Starbucks to get coffee, and I would suggest that you don't. No judgment here because I get it, but I quit going once I learned this. And we have not had one close. I just got one within less than an hour of us just recently. But so I didn't have access to a Starbucks until recently anyway. But once I found out what she was, that place in the Bible that talks about, let's see if I can find it. New Testament. As concerning, therefore, eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in this world. Yeah. Howbeit that so it would be this chapter. And people like to use this for saying that they can eat anything that they want to. But he's like, don't eat food that's been sacrificed to idols is basically what we're talking about here. Watch what you're eating. So, and they're saying, if it's going to offend your brother, be careful, of what you're doing. But if it's been sacrificed to an idol, so I love Asian food. I absolutely love Asian food. But if they have an idol, a lot of times it'll be like right there by the door or it'll be out by the cash register. And then they've got plates of food and maybe pitchers or glasses of water around it. They are sacrificing the food in that restaurant to an idol. Do not eat there. I will turn around and walk out. And it makes me sad because usually those people are so sweet and nice, and I would love to give them my business, and I'm sure that the food is very good, but the Bible specifically said don't eat it if it has been offered in sacrifice to idols. Do not do it. Okay, so I just, a caution there. And the Starbucks, they've got it on their cups. They've got it on the outside of the building. They've got it everywhere. They've got her there. And yeah, that whole franchise is sacrificed to an idol, is dedicated to one of the wives of the Watchers that created the Nephilim. So it just not a good idea. These are really weird. I don't know what this whole thing is. And this would be more like a wyvern if it's only got 2 legs. It's kind of hard to tell with that one. I need to get Catherine on here again sometime to talk. Now this one looks like an eel to me. So I don't know. There's some eels look really weird. Let's see, here we have another one. I don't know why she would have the hat on and stuff, but these were taken from, books, paintings, tapestries, things like that. Here we go. So we've got a lion. We know what that is. We have a leopard here. We have another lion type creature here. And then we have this. So it's like, okay, some of these look familiar, looks familiar, doesn't look quite as familiar, right? And I'd say that's probably kind of a Nessie type creature, maybe, but it might be. There were several of this one. And we had been, I think Shelley and I talked about St. Christopher, a dog man. And JC follows JT follows JC. I get confused on that one. I think they were talking about that too. St. Christopher and things. A lot of people have been talking about that now lately. But this guy's got a crown, like he's actually one of the kings or something, or a prince. This was also something that kept showing up. And it's almost like the Dragon of Revelation type of thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's got 7 heads and 10 horns. So we're talking Dragon of Revelation type thing. So, religious iconography. I get that. Oops. Oh, I guess it's just, here we go. Some more. That looks like a greyhound to me. But then you have a griffin, a unicorn, a hare. So, I mean, they've got what we consider to be like mystical creatures. That almost looks like a camel. It's got 2 humps. That's weird. Mythical creatures in amongst regular creatures that we would expect to see. Here's another dog. Here's this guy again. And I did not do any research to find out who he was. Here we've got a griffin. I like the way on this one we're showing the different layers of the feathers. And then this back here almost looks like it's skin, almost like a bat wing type thing amidst the feathers. So, I mean, if there's a platypus, all the different things going on with a platypus, then why could there not be some of these? This right here is not natural. God did not create this. I have heard somebody say recently that they thought the pigs were Nephilim, and that's why pig innards can be used to do transplants with people. And I'm like, again, there are wild boars all over the place. So, and God's creation tries to go back to the natural. We can just see that if a house is abandoned, these abandoned cities and things, they get overgrown really quick. The old railroad tracks, you know, the land and everything starts taking over. So if you let a bunch of dogs out and they just breed willy-nilly with themselves, eventually I just the chihuahuas definitely aren't going to make it very long. You know, I natural selection in that particular instance, you know, things are going to go back to more what God created to actually work on this world, if that makes sense. So, as far as dogs are concerned, I believe that probably a Spitz, like a Samoyed, was probably on the ark. But I do believe that there were probably different kinds of dogs on the ark. So there was probably something along the lines of a Great Dane and or a Greyhound type dog, and then there might have been a poodle or golden retriever type, you know, water dog, some kind of a herding dog. There's different kinds of dogs, so it makes sense to me that it wouldn't have just been two dogs and all dogs come from the same two dogs. I don't think that's the case. And you go back and start looking at the genetics, and the Samoyeds are some of the oldest genetics. So yeah, I believe definitely they had a couple of Spits on there. But some of the other dogs, you know, kind of, if you take it back to what it originally came from, what it originally was, then you're getting closer, probably. And there was plenty of room on the ark. People do not realize how big that was. And he would have been taking probably baby animals, a boy and a girl, you know, of the unclean, just a boy and a girl of each. So he wouldn't have had to take complete, you know, full-fledged adults. He could take little ones. But yeah, there was plenty of room. And here you go on some of the different kinds of, again, wyverns. I need to get Catherine on here. This is the kind of dragon similar to this, to what our girls saw, without legs, a tail, and wings. So more along this line was what they said that they saw. Not these colors necessarily. And it was far away, so I don't know if they noticed any colors. Again, here we have another one of these. I was going to get in there and I was going to put stickers on things, but I didn't. Sorry, guys, if you've got youngins. Here's another one of these. It's got like really fat toes on it, so that's weird. But if you have enough drawings of a creature like that, you know, it's like people were seeing something, because there's enough different depictions in different places and all over the world to know that there had to have been something like that. And if there was, there probably still is. There's plenty of places on the world today for these to hide, really. And there's stories from the jungles and stuff of these types of creatures. This is weird. We've got wings. That is just, these have, like they've got the helmet of like a knight's helmet on it. But I found several of these too. And this one's got bees up here. And then it looks like almost, that's not a bat though, because it's got 4 legs. Isn't that weird? Like a flying squirrel or something. And it's got like a snake with ears here on the outfit. And then this 2-legged wyvern looking thing. And then this dude, he's having some issues. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't know what that's depicting. Him having some familiar spirits tormenting his sleep or something. And then, of course, we have these. And sometimes they will actually have the faces of people or the upper torso of a person, Mr. Tumnus type thing. But this kind of looks like more goat-ish, but still playing a flute or some kind of a pipe. This is also weird. That's crazy. I do not understand that. Do not. Here's another one of these again. But we've got a different depiction going on here. And it's like, what is this? Is this showing the world worshiping the beast and the beast taking down the saints? I don't know. Now, there are a lot of depictions of these from all over. I mean, the explorers that came over here to the Americas showed these in South America. Here we've got another one of these, another siren. This is interesting. It's a fully up and down, but it almost looks like a monkey, but I don't know. On stilts, of all things. And this kind of reminds you of some of the stuff that Paul from Understanding Conspiracy covers in his stuff. Kind of clown-like the way some of this looks. It looks like some of the masks that people come up with in different cultures. And it makes you wonder, in an image like this, are these, like spirits that are egging this person on, trying to make them, greedy or something, or that are there with him? I kind of lean toward these are depicting spirits that are tormenting him. Another siren type creature. And then this one. I don't know that I would consider that a siren. I have no idea. That one I would probably consider a siren. From an artistic perspective, I just think some of this, but we have the whole lion back in here. But then these feet here are kind of lion, kind of bird. Not completely bird, not completely lion. Just very interesting. And then the creatures that are reading. Very interesting bird-ish looking creature with a medieval hood reading a book. Again, we have this depiction. Same, similar style. The beast with the heads and the crowns and standing on top of a saint and having somebody else worshiping it. A siren. Absolutely a siren. This says 1300, but I think this is a Victorian depiction. I don't think it goes back that far. And again, we have, okay, that looks like a camel, a goat, a dog with different colored spots, a deer type creature of some sort, maybe a wolf, bear, lion, And then we have a unicorn in amidst everything else. This one was interesting. I just don't even know what to do. So Equus marinus mophotis something. Another creature. This is a dog creature with another book. I think that looks like the same one that I had earlier. And this is a Victorian-ish depiction, maybe from cards or something. It's hard to say. It kind of almost looks like a tarot card scenario or something. But definitely sirens. I just don't even know what to do with this, guys. I just don't even. The birds don't seem to be scared of it at all. Is this a story of some sort? I have no idea. And this, I mean, some of these I'm like, really? Why even? What? Uh-huh. And here's another one of these again. Again, it looks like we've got the saint under the feet. And I just really wonder if this is all in the same book and why so many depictions of the same basic thing in just different ways. I'm not, unless these are different books and the people who copied them off just did them a little bit differently, but kept the same basic style. I don't know. I'm curious. Sometimes I wish I hadn't hated history in school so bad, but had I become a historian, I just don't know that I could. Do you know how much uneducation we have to turn around and do with ourselves? Again, this kind of looks like an eel. There's some weird looking eels in the world. Another one of these with the helmet of a knight's helmet on here. Just some really weird. I just don't even know what to do with some of the stuff. It's weird. Shoebill bird. Gotta look it up. Bird. Something says, oh, it's stork. Oh my goodness. That's a crazy looking one too. Let's see. Hello, Pamela. Cow heart valves have also been used to replace human heart valves. That's interesting. I guess I didn't realize that. I know pig parts have definitely been used, but I guess I didn't realize with the cow heart. Let's see. I'll pull this one up. This is a pretty crazy looking creature. Indeed. Wow. Again, I'm just sitting here. I don't know what the wings look like, but I know some of the birds have little claws right in the middle here. And wouldn't that kind of make you think? I mean, it doesn't have thick enough legs to be like a T-Rex. And the T-Rex doesn't have a bill on it. As far as you can tell. I mean, maybe it did have, but it's got a longer skull. But I mean, can you imagine the T-Rex either being, a bird, that just looks evil right there. I mean, look at that. If he was looking at me like that, I would think, oh my goodness, I have made him mad. And he's big. He's not small. I'm sure he probably eats fish, not people, but wow. You guys are going to get me sidetracked. I'm way too sleepy for this. Oh. Mm. Yeah, you're good, Pamela. Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, I think that's all I've got. I'm so sorry. Wow. I think that's about all I've got. Um I did something today. I did something. Um I should show that to you before I quit. Mm, let's see if I can see if this is going to. Oh, it did. Okay. Let me screen share one more time. Present. Screen share. Screen share. Okay. So if you go to, I'm in the process of changing. PrairieDustTrail.com is still there. But if you go to donitafogelman.com/prairie dust, then this will take you to, I've got the free emergency dealing with disaster plan. It's not just an emergency plan, it's how to deal with things while you're, recuperating, while you're going through the situation and trying to get through it and past it. So there's that, and it's a free PDF download. And it just puts you on my email list, and I'm not good about sending out emails on a regular basis, so I will not clutter up your email box if you do that. I'm too lazy to do that. There's the magazine, of course, and then there's the group. The group is free, and if you would like to contribute to the magazine, if you are a writer, a photographer, a poet, things like that. As a matter of fact, photographers, or if you've got children that like to take pictures and stuff, we're having a photography contest, a photo contest for the next magazine. And the photos will be in the summer magazine. And the photo that wins is going to be on the cover of the magazine. So looking forward to, I'm already getting some really good photos, and I'm really excited about that. So I will put that link for the contest down in the description. But if you are a writer or something and you would like to actually contribute to the magazine, and get in touch with me that way. But if you get on the group, it'll take you here, and we've got join group. And if you do this on your phone, then I have a little thing here on how to install it. So it's like an app on your phone. And then we have discussions. And today I finally finished the witchcraft study that I've been trying to tell my Patreon people that I was doing. And most of this has been available on Patreon, but I went ahead and pulled it over here for people who are coming into my platform. This platform can't be censored. No, it's a no censoring platform. So everybody's going to be clean and family friendly, of course. And then if you want to support me, it's free to get on the platform and be part of the group. But then I have a membership opportunity that I have all of my research notes from my videos. I'm gradually getting them all on there. And the Tin Hat Talk videos, I've got those, plus transcripts if you would rather read it than watch or listen, or you can't catch something, because I know sometimes my mic doesn't pick up like I wish that it would, and I don't know why all the time. So if that's where that will be. It's going to be transcripts and stuff, and there's a bunch of free stuff in there too. Well, not It's free for the people who are members. So there's a lot of stuff in there, and I'm gradually adding more stuff in there. So, and then I have my Star Chronicles Bible-based study of the stars. And with that, because if you go on Amazon, it's like $20 for the book. And then it's like, I can't remember how much for the coloring book. Well, if you do it here, then you get the book, you get the coloring book, you get notebooking pages and lapbooking pages for homeschool, plus the star charts. So where you can print them out if you want to and really dig into the study. People have used this for Bible studies in churches and homeschool curriculum and all kinds of things. So that's available. You can sign up for the free newsletter here and the magazine here as well. I have a prairie homemaking course, which also includes like some homesteading stuff. And so those are all there and available. So I just wanted to share that and just let you guys know that this is available. I am on Telegram, but Telegram's been updating things, and Telegram and Patreon are both updating their stuff where they can start censoring things and where they're starting to monitor everybody's chats and stuff. And I know I have somebody on Telegram who likes to do private chat with me, and it just, I don't trust them anymore. I have to put it that way. I love Telegram because I can put video messages and voice messages, and it's been a lot of fun. But really having my own platform is going to be easier. It's just going to be easier. And then the videos are going to be available there if they happen to be taken off of YouTube. I try to be very careful about how I state things and stuff. And so far, I haven't had anything taken down. I did get a strike, but that got taken care of. So thankfully. Oh, okay. You bought the Star Chronicles in the book. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. I hate buying things from Amazon if I don't have to. But sometimes people like paper. So I like to make sure the stuff's on the Amazon. So if you actually want like the bound version of it, you can get it that way. Otherwise, you could print it out and take it to the printer and have it bound. Unless you have one of those little binding machine thingies, you could do that too. So yeah, I'm trying to make it like you guys are going to get as much as possible out of this. I want to be generous. I also want to keep the lights on and the fan running because I'm hot. So anyway, I've got plenty of free stuff. You do not have to, the group's free. Okay. And so is that one dealing with disaster printable thing. I want you guys to be able to be prepared to take care of yourselves and your family in an emergency. So, I'm not going to charge for that. And the group is just a place for us to have discuss this stuff and give each other ideas and all of that kind of stuff. It's spicy in Arkansas too. I'm feeling beyond spice. I feel like I'm melting right now. 103 degrees in June. It's like, no. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Definitely get a hold of me if you have any ideas or anything. Email me or message me or whatever. I always like hearing from you guys. So anyway, hope to see you guys in the community. I really appreciate y'all. And remember, you can make it through the dust storms of life with God's divine help.